Hey folks, welcome to week one of Leadership Nonprofit 302. Real short week, Thursday and Friday. Remember I told you from the earlier video that stuff's going to be due on Saturday night at midnight. So this is kind of what we're going to do this week. Not horribly heavy. I want you to read 3 chapters out of the Reggio Or text. This is what the book looks like right here. Improving Leadership in Nonprofit Organizations. This is a copy of the syllabus. If you haven't yet, take a look at the syllabus, kind of outline, make sure that you understand what we're doing, how we're doing it, what my expectations are, what your responsibilities are. So this week I want you to read about future challenges of nonprofit organizations, kind of what is the nonprofit world up against in terms of leadership challenges, some thoughts from leaders in the nonprofit world about kind of how things are going, how they see the landscape, opportunities, challenges, threats, kind of an impact analysis of what's going on. And lastly, some reminders, a list of 10 things that nonprofits are going to have to do moving into the next century. You know, the landscape for nonprofit organizations is changing very rapidly. Nonprofit organizations kind of emerge and mature, and some thrive, some die, seemingly overnight. Many nonprofits are at the mercy of legislative policy and laws, and a change in the law can put a nonprofit organization basically out of business. So thinking about these major pressing issues that nonprofits have to contend with, that's kind of how we're going to get started this week. Every week, virtually every week, I'm going to ask you to journal. I don't know how many of you have ever journaled before, but I like to use journaling in the courses that I teach. And here's kind of the way I think about journaling. Every week when I ask you to do a journal, I want you to have one journal entry for one total for the 3 or 4 or 2, how many chapters that you read. And I'm interested in what you think about what you read. Let me restate that. I'm interested in what you think about what you read. Don't tell me about what you read. I don't want to be crass, but I'm reading it too. I mean, I picked out the book. I got to know the editors. I know what's in there. I want to know what you think about what you read. You know, does any of it resonate with you? Does it make sense? Can you see a connection between what you read and maybe what you see or what you hear on the TV or social media or the radio, or you read in a journal or some kind of periodical or publication. And this is kind of a way for you to take stock and to consider, kind of what am I learning as I go through this. The other thing I'm really kind of keenly interested in is what I call the aha moment. And that is when you read something and the light bulb turns on and you go, aha, I never thought about it in that way before. I never considered that particular angle. I know you've had that experience before. Everybody has. So don't kind of be real heavy on the journal. I'm only looking for 2 or 3 paragraphs. I don't want you to give me 10 pages of stuff. Again, 2 or 3 paragraphs of kind of, it's reflexive, kind of reflecting on what you read and kind of what you got out of it. Any questions that still kind of remain. I want you to kind of keep an eye about a week ahead. Next week you're going to have your first quiz. Quizzes are always cumulative. So if you got 3 chapters this week, 2 chapters next week, the quiz is going to be over chapters 1 through 5. Let me tell you something about my quizzes. They are all open-ended. I ask open-ended questions. I don't use multiple guess. I don't use fill in the blank. I'm going to ask you a question and ask you to respond to it, because that's the only way I can figure out. I've been doing this for a while. This will start my 27th year. I have found the best way to measure learning is to ask somebody an open-ended question and ask them to write about it, kind of how they respond, what they think about the question, and can they back it up with any kind of data, facts, or figures or something from the reading. I don't want you to regurgitate or cut and paste stuff out of the readings. I want you to answer it in your voice. But I want you to be thinking about those things. So, we're off to the first week. I just want you to also know how grateful and thankful I am that you're in this class. I consider myself truly blessed to do what I get to do. and that's kind of to stand back and maybe mentor and guide and help students to learn the material, because you could have taken any class, and the fact that you chose to take this class with me, I don't take that lightly. I'm here to help you. And I realize that a number of you have kind of been off. You didn't take summer school classes. You've had a lot going on, and you know, there's always kind of a readjustment to what I call academic reentry. You know, you're back into the swing of the semester again. So take care of yourself, because if you're not feeling good emotionally, physically, spiritually, you're no good to anybody. So don't get overwhelmed. And I'm looking forward to your journaling. And if you got any questions, you know, hit me up, text me, email me, call, whatever it takes. I hope you have a really great week and a peaceful and restful weekend. And I'll come back to you next week in another video very similar to this and talk about week 2. Okay? Peace out.